3,000 nerve receptors in our fingertips allow us to feel every touch. Through our tires, we can also feel the road. Inside Racing is brought to you by Dunlop.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of Inside Racing. Today, Alex Wurz looks ahead to Le Mans. But first, historic moments at the Bol d'Or 2011. Feel the passion, feel the track with Inside Racing. The 75th Bol d'Or, an anniversary for a 24-hour classic and season opener for the 2011 Endurance World Championship. The riders from Suzuki Endurance Racing: Freddy Foray, Vincent Philippe, and their new teammate Anthony Delal, ready for the task of defending their title. In 2009, I also had the number 1 on my bike, but I hadn't won it. Today I'm starting as world champion, and that makes me very proud. Everyone expects a great performance from us, so there's a lot of pressure, but we'll do it. The Bol d'Or of Magny-Cours and the confidence of world champions. They know their strengths. Vincent crashed his bike in warm-up, but they keep cool. Of course, making a big mistake is not exactly good for your confidence ahead of this tough 24-hour race, but I've got lots of experience. I'm very worked up, but I'll be focusing fully on my riding in order to get the feel as quickly as possible. A Le Mans start in midsummer temperatures. Vincent on pole wins the sprint, chased by 51 bikes on the track. Consistent performance is the key to success here for rider, machine and tyres.
Sprint races, you've picked a tyre, you know what it's going to do, you've got 35-40 minutes of racing on that tyre. The difference with the endurance race is we're going right through the day and the night, so you're picking 4 or 5 tyres and deciding when to run them according to the conditions. Obviously they're out there for a lot longer. You've got about 12 seconds to change the tyres and refuel the bike, so you've got to make a decision before you actually see the tyre coming out what's going in next. 4 seconds and it's too late because the guy's already got the fuel rig in and you can't do anything else with the bike.
The major teams change the tyres at every pit stop and fill the bike's tank nearly with 24 litres of fuel. In this 24-hour race, every second counts and every gram adds to the weight. Lap by lap, the bike gets lighter and handles differently. On top of that comes lots of traffic and muck on the track. The ideal line simply doesn't exist.
Never ever take anything for granted. Anything can happen for sure. Whether it be weather conditions, fortunately for us here it's been very kind, the sun's been shining, but you never take anything for granted. There's various levels of speed. Some people have problems on the TV, but no, it's one of those things that you've got to settle in, find your pace and stick with it.
As the riders lean into the corners and the engines roar, beside the track the guitars are cranked up. The Bol d'Or becomes an annual rock and bowl festival with pommes frites and beer. It's a real biker atmosphere, one big family. I've been coming since the 70s when it was still at Le Mans. A passion, a lifestyle and a mission. As night falls at Magny-Cours, it's time to consider strategy.
As it gets colder, the abrasion becomes harder on the tyres. We have to run a harder compound and then compensate for that by trying to soften the tyre off to keep the feeling for the rider.
Cold gradually creeps into the pit lane, but the team continue flat out into the next day. The world champion Suzuki is at full working temperature. For hours now, the lead has continually been extended. Faced with this precision and reliability, the competition falls increasingly behind. Tough and merciless too. The signs of physical wear and tear, exhaustion, bruises and cramp. It's a strenuous race. You get a lot of strain on the back of your neck due to the pressure of the air. That's one thing. Then also on your hands, forearms, shoulders and upper back. You therefore have to pay a quick visit to the physio and get rid of this tension so that it doesn't give you any pain and you can continue to give your best on the bike.
Avec le kiné, on essaie d'enlever les tensions pour pas que s'installe une douleur et une tension musculaire pour pouvoir récupérer à chaque fois pareil et pouvoir donner le maximum sur la moto. Ouais.
Then, the historic reward for all the effort. At the last pit stop, Vincent Philippe jumps on for the final stint. With a lead of 6 laps, the world champions win the Golden Bowl again. A total of 814 times around Magny-Cours within 24 hours. A new lap record. All of these races are historic, but for Vincent, this is a great moment because he's won the bowl many times, as I have. It means a lot to us, but we're still hungry for more, so we'll be back, no problem.
Pas de problème.
As a winner here for a 7th time, Vincent Philippe can definitely be called King of the Bol d'Or. We certainly didn't win the Bol d'Or with one single effort. It was achieved step by step. Sometimes it seems to us riders almost normal to win, but I think it's always so difficult to win this race here that we're thrilled every time. Vincent Philippe and Suzuki Endurance Racing in an impressive class of their own. We stay with the Endurance World Championship in Magny-Cours and accompany 2 race engineers with tons of grip.
Hello, I'm Chris Valentine, a Dunlop Motorsport engineer of 8 years, and I'm here to show you what we're doing at the Bol d'Or over the 24-hour race weekend. Motorcycle racing for me, I guess, is a passion. The challenge of being able to design products and then come to the racetrack and watch them being used, tested and raced, and hopefully winning.
Hi, I'm Pete Chapman. I'm the coordinator of World Endurance for Dunlop Motorsport. I've been in endurance now for just over 10 years and in World Championship level racing for the 17 seasons, which suddenly hits me as being quite a long time. Mostly it's the opportunity to work with the people. There are some fantastic people in racing, particularly in motorcycle racing, and a lot of them have been here this weekend. And it's great to see them all, it's great to work with them, it's great to compete with them. This year we bought just under 3,000 tyres, and we've got quite a good crew on. We've got 3 shifts of tyre fitters, some admin staff, 3 pit lane technicians and 2 management staff. So we're quite well manned up.
And certainly the temperature change is probably going to be the biggest thing. We're going to be looking at 30+ degrees middle of the day with the sun out. We had frost on the cars last night when we got out to them, so we're getting about 0 overnight. We're going to have a different tyre for about every 10 degrees of temperature we see. So there'll be 3 different specs of slick tyres for the rear. Probably 2 fronts, and then obviously a wide range of wets and intermediates for anything else that happens during the 24 hours. We're using the normal slick racing tyres that we use in the dry conditions, putting a small number of grooves in them just to clear a little bit of water and help. Rather than having a lot of expensive moulds and carrying an extra set of all the 3 or 4 compound choices we have, Simon will just cut the tyre directly